What could you do in your classroom with an additional $1,700 each year? Do you believe math textbooks are truly worth this value to students in increasing student achievement and learning opportunities? Now multiply this number per every classroom, per every grade level, and every discipline. The amount we spend on textbooks every year is staggering, and it's worth our consideration to whether or not this amount of money is worth the investment that we are putting into it. In this talk, I hope to convince you that if you're in a one-to-one environment, you should consider throwing out your math textbook. Though I think the ideas presented will apply across several disciplines and grade levels, math is my area of expertise, so the examples will mostly focus on that area. It is my hope that you will truly consider whether or not this cost is worth it. So let's be honest. First reason we should throw out our math textbook is that students do not use it as a learning tool. If you think back to your math class days, this is how textbooks are used in math classrooms. Your assignment for tomorrow is page 50, problems 1 through 40. Or if you're really lucky, 1 through 40 evens. Or even luckier yet, 1 through 40 odds, answers in the back. Students simply do not use their math textbooks as a learning tool. Because of curriculum cycles, they can't even write in them, they can't highlight in them. Today's digital learners require tools that will be much more engaging for them. A second reason that you should throw out your math textbook is because of the plethora of resources that have been made available with the advent of technology. Though some of these have costs, a lot of them are completely free. And when you factor in $1,700 per year, you could buy all of these and many, many more for the cost that you're spending on textbooks. These resources range from video lessons that will engage students to giving students more real-world problems that they connect with, to tools that can be used if students do not understand concepts and need reteaching. The plethora of resources out there is enormous. But do these resources have the same impact on student achievement, and do they actually save costs? Researchers in Utah were interested in these very questions. So they took the 3 largest high schools in Utah and had teachers throw out their textbooks. Teachers were then given time to develop an online curriculum using open educational resources. Open educational resources are resources that are free to everybody and accessible to all. Even when they took into consideration the teacher time it took to develop and find their curriculum, valued at $30 an hour, they found that costs could be reduced 50% and that student achievement was not sacrificed. Research in this area is limited and needs to be expanded, but this study was at least promising towards pointing to the idea of throwing out textbooks. A final reason that you should consider throwing out your math textbooks is that teachers lose creativity when they're confined to a textbook. So here are 2 problems. They can both be solved using systems of linear equations. One involves chickens and pigs, and one involves something near and dear to my students' hearts, tulip time and poffertjes. It's no surprise which one engages students more. When students can understand the utility of math and it's about something that relates to them, they're much more likely to be engaged and work harder and be willing to work for you. Another example is that when teachers throw away their textbooks and tap into their own creativity, they better connect with students. So I have a student, I won't say his real name, I'll call him Hunter because that seems like a more appropriate name than his real name anyway. Hunter hates math, he's always hated math, but Hunter loves shooting club, particularly skeet shooting. I know nothing about skeet shooting. I've never shot a gun, I know absolutely nothing about it. But I can bring Hunter in study hall, and I know there's some points involved, and we can talk about the rate that the bullets fly, and we can sit down together and figure out, okay, what math is in skeet shooting, and we can write some math problems together. And students get really excited when they see their math problems that they've written with me one-on-one show up on the next night assignment. It makes them much more excited and engaged about the math they are learning. Now, teachers, you could just have your regular textbook and then supplement with this type of questioning, but in my experience, if a teacher has a textbook, that's what they'll default to and that's what they'll fall back on. And our students deserve math that will be much more engaging and connect to them. Digital textbooks are a step up from regular textbooks, but they still do not know your students. You as the teacher know your students, you are the content experts. You have the opportunity to create your own material. So, for the love of students, throw out your math textbooks. Don't be confined to what somebody else in some office said that your students should do and your students should learn. Try it, even if it's just for one unit for one of your preps. I'm willing to bet that the results with your students will amaze you and that you'll be convinced that throwing out your math textbook is the way to go.